Aviation officials are investigating a close call between a Southwest Airlines plane and a private business jet on a Chicago Midway runway today. The Southwest plane, as you see here, was forced to abort its landing after it saw that jet also on the runway. The FAA says that jet entered the runway without authorization. The private jet company FlexJet says it adheres to safety standards and is conducting an investigation of its own. Todd Yeary joins us now. He's a former air traffic control specialist for the FAA. Todd, thank you so much for being here. What is your reaction to the video?
Well, the reaction to the video is that it indeed was a very troubling scenario, but it was the vigilance of the flight crew that helped avert a disaster. What we do know is that the FlexJet crew was not given clearance to cross runway 31 Center. As a matter of fact, from what I understand, they read back the clearance incorrectly. The controller caught it, reissued the clearance, and yet the crew continued to proceed across an active runway. So it's the vigilance of the crew and the attentiveness of the controllers, I think, that helps us get through this situation without a much more disastrous outcome.
And given that the pilot of the private jet repeated instructions incorrectly, was corrected by the tower, do you think it's possible that the pilot of the jet misunderstood or was confused by the instructions?
Well, I won't say that they were necessarily confused by the instructions. Whether or not they understood, that's the investigation that has to bear that out. But what we do know is that he did not have clearance to cross runway 31 Center. And so this is really what we would call a pilot deviation that led to a runway incursion. So it's going to start with trying to figure out what did the pilots understand. We know what the controller issued.
What exactly are the safety standards for private jets at commercial airports?
Well, the safety standards are the same for all aircraft operating on the airport surface. And so you cannot proceed across an active taxiway or runway without clearance. You have to pay very close attention to the controller's instructions. And so this is one of those scenarios where clearly the instructions given were not adhered to. But for the quick thinking and the attentiveness of the Southwest crew, this could have been another disastrous scenario.
Certainly. How common are these close calls, Todd?
Not very common, but common enough to raise awareness. We're talking about this one today. There are about 45,000 operations in a single day in the National Airspace System. Most of those occur without incident. But there are those occasions where you have situations like we have here that are cause for concern, but it's why we have to be committed to making sure that the National Airspace System remains the safest airspace system in the world.
Todd Yeary, thank you so much for your time.